Well guys, welcome to another Scrapping Irish. As you can see, I'm in my little studio room on my little green screen behind me. This is the room where I do my lives from. But I'm going to talk to you about what this week's video is about. So I get asked a lot about on emails and stuff, do I make a living from scrapping or whatever? I don't. It's not a living. I do it for some extra cash. I have a full-time job, and I just do this for a bit of extra cash and a bit of fun, and just to see what's in certain stuff, taking them apart and gold recovery and stuff like that. So I'm not doing it full time or anything like that. But there is scrappers out there who make a living from it. So them guys, some people can make a living. You need to have a lot of inventory to make a living out of it. For me, it's just a hobby. But I want to talk to you about this week's video, which is some people just want to make a bit of extra cash, same as myself, a bit of extra cash and stuff like that. So I want to show you how you can make some extra cash from these sort of things. These are LED lights that I have a contact for them. An electrician just give me these, so he goes out, he replaces a light for someone, and he just gives me the old light that came down once he has replaced it. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm going to show you how you can turn these into some extra cash. So for a start, you're going to have your copper wire, you're going to have your aluminium, stuff like that off it. So we're going to go to the shed. We're going to take what he's given me. He's given me a nice big box load at the moment, and we're going to see how much money I will make out of them. So I'm not going to cash them in yet, but I've got the current prices for aluminium and stuff like that, and for insulated copper wire, so I'll be able to work out what I'll be making out of these if I was to cash them in now. But I prefer to collect them up until I've got a good lot of them in, and then I'll go and cash it in from my local scrapyard. So guys, you go watch the video, but before you do that, make sure you hit the thumbs up. If you've got a community tab, I'd appreciate if you would share it out. Some people don't like using their community tabs to share stuff out. I don't mind sharing it out for people. I always kind of share it out. Someone asked me to share a video, I'd share it out for them. So if you have a community tab and you don't mind sharing it out, please share it out. And if you're new to the channel, there's a little button down there at the bottom that says subscribe. I would really be honoured, and if I could earn your subscription today from watching some of my videos. So if you're looking to get into scrapping, or you are already a scrapper and you just want to support another scrapper, hit that button, and let's become friends on YouTube. So anyway, let's go to the shed and let's see what I get out of these and how I take them apart and what I keep off them, and see is it worth doing. So see you in the shed, guys. Okay guys, so here I am in the shed. As you can see, I have a big pile of these work lights. So we're going to start taking them apart and we're going to see what's in them, and I'm going to see how much copper wire I get out of them. Get the gloves on first. I'm going to see how much copper wire I get, and how much aluminium or aluminum or whatever way you want to pronounce it. We can get it out of it and see what the value is, how easy it is to make a bit of extra cash from stuff that people would normally throw away. So we're going to start off with something straightforward, something like one of these on it. So you can see it's got a nice chunk of aluminium on the back, and hopefully a bit of aluminium inside of it, maybe not. So all I'm going to do is just remove the screws. There is some bolts here on the side that can be removed as well. If I can find my, I don't even need to, it'll actually screw out. So again, there will be some brass and stuff like that on them as well. So on some of the, where the wires are connected on some of them, will have brass connectors. So like the likes of in here, that's usually brass on them, and sometimes they'll just twist off as well. No, I need to get a spanner to do that, but we'll take off the screws first. So again, some of them will come off easily with the drill. If not, we'll just get the screwdriver, because some of these are rusted away. So because they've been outside up on people's things. So any of the rusted ones I'm going to leave aside for a moment. I'll come back to them at the end, because they just take too long to take out the rusted ones. So let's see how we get on with this one. So So usually you'd see me using a normal screwdriver or something like that when I'll be doing a video, but for this video, because there's so many of them, I'm going to try and speed it up a bit by using the actual power drill. So I think we've all the screws out there that I need to get out. So we can get them screws afterwards with a magnet or something like that. Gloves make it a bit harder. Okay, so then we just need to pop off this. Let's see, can we just pop off this cover to get into it? I'll probably need a chisel or something, so I should have brought a chisel out with me or a knife. I didn't bother bringing one of them out, so I might need to pause it there while I go get a chisel or a knife to do this part, because I don't see any of them hanging around me here. So give me a second, guys. I'll go and get a chisel to open up the next part, if I can stop this video. Okay, so I have my chisel here now, so hopefully we can get the chisel in here somewhere and start to pop off the little clips that are around the actual base of this. So there's a few little clips that make it a bit awkward. And that glass I managed to break, so I need to be careful with the glass. If I have a bucket, I can just put that glass into a bucket. So we have our bucket where I can knock this broken glass into. So as you can see, sometimes things don't go as planned. I thought it was going to be just straightforward, but instead of that, I have a rake of glass now to deal with. So just one of them things. So that's why the gloves come in handy. So there we go. I see a nice little power board while I'm doing that. You can see in there, nice little power board which will have some copper on it for me, which is, at least that's an extra thing as well. Now, put that aside for a second. Get back to trying to take this apart. If I can get that tape removed. Right, so where are we? Let me get my chisel again. So don't worry, you're not going to have to sit through and watch every one of these being taken apart. So I just want to see how hard it is. There we go. That's what I wanted to get off, is that little clip. So that's just plastic. And again, some more plastic here. So we have our little inside LED with our power strip, and does that come out, or do I need to screw it out? I need to screw it out, so we've got a small screwdriver for that. There's two little screws here at the side. Just remove that, try and keep it in the camera if possible. So again, I hold on to these for the LED strips. So again, just some plastic. Put that in the recycling bin. Empty out what I don't want. So we can see there's a line of screws holding on that heatsink on the back. So again, just get the drill and we remove them, which takes There's always a few awkward ones. So, I think that's about it. So, again, just knock the screws down there. Any of them that didn't come out, we'll just have to loosen a bit more. Okay, moving wires, that's the LED control panel or LED lights out. So again, I have to hold on to them, and I will be dealing with them at a later date when they have the for getting the gold wires from them LED lights, because there is gold wires. If you don't know that, there is a gold bonding wire usually in them LED lights. So we just snip these off. If I could get a snip that isn't turned into absolute crud. That'll do for the moment. So put that aside. Empty out whatever rubbish I have still there. See if that's. There's my nice chunk of aluminium. So I put that aside. And we get a way up with them all at the end. And the other item I'll be taking out of this is the actual control board. So you can see here again, we just have some screws in it. So got that, and then I want to remove the cabling. So we have our cable. We've got some little brass connectors there on the ends that I'll cut off as well. There are little brass connectors on some of them, and that's our little bit of cable or insulated wire, and the rest is plastic on this one, except for the little bit of a brass on the back here, little brass connector. So we just remove that. So we have a little bit of brass, put that aside. And we have another little bit of brass to get off that's tightened by another nut. So I'll see if I can remove that, but it's got like a plastic seal on it. So maybe a bit difficult. There we go. So we'll remove that so that we get as much of the brass off it as possible. So again, some brass there usually. I'll double check them with a magnet, and another little brass bit there usually as well. So that's usually what's on a bit of brass, and that's the actual light taken apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on doing all these. So I'll probably speed it up, I might stop it, whatever. There's some little copper there we can get off, them little copper switches and stuff like that. So I'm going to go through all this, and at the end we'll see what we got. Is it worth doing them, stripping them down to get the extra cash, or would you just put them in a shred? Well, we already know that putting it in a shred isn't going to give you much money, so definitely put it in as break it down as best you can to get the aluminium off it. So I'm going to speed that up, and we'll see how we get on. Okay guys, so instead of speeding it up, because I was looking there and it was going to take for a bit longer because there's so many different screws and this type of LED and stuff like that, I was going to just go through them all and keep them on camera and speed up. It still was going to be too long of a video. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to strip them all off camera, and we'll come back at the end when I have everything stripped and we'll see what we end up with, because it's just going to take too long. There's too many different types of screws, there's too much changing between screwdrivers or whatever, and change between the drill heads and stuff like that, so it's just taking too long, so the video will just drag on too long. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything apart. I'm going to see how long it takes me actually to do them all, and see if it's really worth spending that amount of time, because there is a lot of screws and stuff like that. But again, if it's a hobby, it doesn't really matter how long it takes you. You can do a few every evening or something like that, and just collect up your aluminium. So we're just going to see what's there. So come back, guys, in a few seconds. Well, it'll be instantly for you. We'll be back. So let's see how we got on. Okay, guys. So I've taken everything apart, and of all them lights, and as you can see, I'm left with, if that'll go up, maybe cable, some aluminium, more aluminium over in the corner. So we're going to get a little weigh in on this stuff. So I'm going to have to do it, because I have such a small scale, so I'm going to have to do it in bit by bit and just write it down. So we'll zero it, and this will take a while. Sorry about that. I don't have a big scales like some of the other scrappers, like Snobby, who has a great scales there. But unfortunately, I might put some of the money I collect from these things when I cash in this aluminium and stuff. I might put it towards getting a scales or something like that. So we'll just see what we have here in this first lot. So we're up to 900 grams. This is all aluminium. So we're up to 1200 grams. I'm just trying to balance it and weigh it at the same time. So I'm going to write it just down here on the board so I can write it down later then. So we have 1572 grams on that first bit. So that can be put aside. Ready to bring to the, put it into my bins. Oh, sorry about the noise, guys. So we'll get the next lot and we'll see what we have in that. I really do need to get a big scales. Need a bigger shed first. So that's half kg. That one there brings it up to 800 grams. So there's a nice bit on them lights. So that brings me over a kg. So we're over 2 kg there. So we have 2.5 kgs. Oh, take out that screw, we don't want that left in there. So 3.1, so 3114. Okay, that's that one done. Find somewhere to leave it down for a minute. And the last few bits. So that's given me just nearly a kg, just what, 700 grams. That brings me to 15. That brings me to 2.2. And this is all just from them lights. So you can see how easy it is to make a few pound, bit of cash. If you're stuck for some cash for some things, sometimes just look around, talk to your friends. They might have something they want to get rid of. Talk to your electrician friends, see if they have any of these lights, swapping people's lights out. So that brings me to 4214, and we're just the last few bits. And then with these, which will be a bit harder to weigh, but because they'll cover my scales. So 2 point thing, these few bits on top. Okay, that ain't gonna work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of them big, let me zero that back, one of those bigger plates that I had a minute ago. We'll take this off at the end, so 0. Okay, so this should work a bit better. So I have to take 750 grams off whatever my total is now in a second. It's like a maths class. 750, so I remember what to take off. So these are all aluminium as well, and my scrapyard don't distinguish between cast, rolled, extruded, so it's just all the same. So they just kind of pick a price and that's it, regardless of what you bring into them. So we're at 2. Okay, so that's it. So 2, 3, 7, 8 minus 750. Yeah, 5 from 17. Just my old brain is gone. What did I do that for? I didn't need to do that. 5 from that is 2. This was where I done it. 6 and bring down the 1. So 1628. 1628. So then that gives me a total for my aluminium at, let me have a look over here. I'm doing this in my head, well, on a piece of timber beside us. 12 and 4 is 16, 18. 3, 4, 5, 5 and 7 is 12. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. 4, 5, 6, 6 and 3 is 9, 10. So that gives me 10.5 kgs of aluminium. So not too bad. 10.5 kgs of aluminium from them lights, which is good. I'm happy enough with that. Let me go there. So now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the insulated copper wire. So we just zero that again. Oh, just want to zero that again. Zeroed. And now we're going to throw in my insulated copper wire. Just over a kg at the moment. .6 kgs. So we have 1.79 kgs. 1.79 kgs, or 1,793 grams to be exact. So that's what I got from the copper. Then I also have some brass fittings. So again, we'll zero that. So these are all little brass bits that I got out of it. And I actually forgot about something else. I'll do it now actually first. So I also have these aluminium bits. So these are bits that were all aluminium as well. So we'll see what we got of them. Be fairly light, but they'll all add up in the aluminium take at the end of it. If I got half a kg, it was something. And another bit I forgot to put in. So they're all aluminium. So I have another 409 grams of aluminium there that I had forgot about. Now again, that's going by these scales, which aren't the best scales in the world. They're a cheap little kitchen scale. So then my brass fittings. Any of these little, all these little brass fittings in that I got out of it as well. So these are all little brass nuts, brass washers. So these will all add up as well. So you can see I've already 200 grams, so I've already got a quarter of a kg of brass fittings, which is nice to add to it. If I can get to a half kg, I would be happy, but I won't actually. I'm only going to get to just over 300 grams, but it's 300 grams more than I had a few minutes ago. Nearly done. That's the last one coming in now. So then I have 360 grams of brass. So I'll just write that down so I know. 360 gram brass. Okay. And the last thing is the items that I've got as well from them. So I have all these little power boards that are on them. So what I'll be taking off them is the little copper spools here. You'll probably see me on my lives. I just break these off, just straightforward like that, and then I'll be taking them apart while I'm doing my live show, which passes a bit of time while we're in there talking. Most people be in talking, but the scrappers are always taking things like this off. They're just doing these on their boards, so they're fairly straightforward. And then I'll also get the MOSFETs and stuff like that off them, but I remove them from the boards so that I have them for just doing when I've a bit of spare time. So copper adds up from them. If I can get this one off, it'll really help. Ooh. I'm just breaking the ferrite off first. There we go. So they all add up, and I'll get the other few bits like the MOSFETs and the aluminium heat sinks that's on them. I'll get them off as well. But guys, if you want to head in, because I have to, and we'll do a bit of more maths and we'll see what we ended up with money wise, because I'll check the current prices on a lot of this stuff and see what I ended up on it money wise, and then you can see how easy it is to make a bit of extra cash from stuff that people throw away. Now again, I'm not going to be cashing this straight in. I'll put this will be all that aluminium and all that brass will be added to my buckets of brass and aluminium that I'm collecting, and when I have enough of it to make it worthwhile, I'll cash it in and it'll go towards buying more stuff for my gold recovery. So whether I want to try and save up and get a furnace, a little furnace for melting the gold, electric one, and I'll try and use the money from the scrapping for that. So see you inside, guys, and let's see how we got on. I've got a few aluminium cans that I need to crush. See you. So guys, so what did I end up with in the end? Going on the current prices that I get, the aluminium was worth €8 to me. The brass is just worth about 70 cents, and the insulated copper wire is working out at I'm just looking down here at the figures I wrote down, €2.35. So that gives me about €11.05, I think it is by my calculations. So that's worth €11.05. So that's how easy it is to make some extra cash. So that was €11.05 that I made from stuff that was going to be thrown away. So if you want to try and make a bit of extra cash, or even in the comments there, I'll give you the weights again, and if you want to tell me what it would have worked out at in your prices at the moment. So everywhere is different prices. So for the aluminium, I had 10.9 kgs. In the brass, I had 360 grams. And in the insulated copper wired, 1.79 kgs. So, or 1,793 grams, whichever way you want to look at it. So why don't you put in the comments what going on your current prices in your area? What would that have been worth? And we'll see, is it worth more in certain areas, or what's it worth? So guys, until the next video, keep on collecting that stuff, and don't throw away anything that could be a bit of extra cash for you. There's plenty of extra cash out there. That was just one item that I've done. I still have the copper that's from the spools to come out of that as well, and if I wanted, I could even tear down that copper wire even more, that insulated copper wire, and bring it down to bright wire and make even more from it. But I just want to show how easy it is, because I get a lot of people saying, oh, I'm looking for a way to make extra cash. So easiest way is start scrapping stuff out, guys. Start holding on to that copper, brass, aluminium, any of that stuff at all. There's value to it. Even the shred steel is worth a bit. So and at the moment copper prices are on the way up, so keep on searching for it, guys. Catch you on the next one.